Hello, good morning, guys. I want to thank you for joining me. We're going to take a look at Jim Cramer and Jeff Marks with the CNBC Investment Club in a minute. But I just want to say thank you, Sent, for joining my Patreon. I appreciate it. We're giving a lot more information over on Patreon. So if you're not there, consider joining. So let's go back to Jim Cramer and the CNBC Investment Club. As you know, guys know, we did bought some Pioneer Natural Resources, which is the highest dividend in the S&P. So I just wanted to touch base on that. But let me go back to Jim Cramer and Jeff Marks to the CNBC Investment Club.
A very confusing day. Opens up strong. Remember, we were up huge at the end of the day. And to take a little profit taking is not unusual. We suggested it last night on Mad Money. And I reiterate here that if you have parts of your portfolio that are overextended, and we took some action in Costco, recognize that while things may be going the Fed's way, if the Fed's winning, some of your company's earnings may be losing.
Right. And that's kind of, it goes back to what we said a couple of weeks ago when we did get that cool CPI print. It's that, yes, it's definitely good for stocks when the Fed downshifts on its interest rates and bond yields plummet. That's good for equity valuations. But if you can't hit the numbers, you're going to have some problems in the future.
Look, I mean, let's contrast Snowflake with Salesforce. Now, Snowflake did hit the numbers, actually exceeded the numbers, but gave a little bit of a more cautious outlook. Salesforce beat the numbers, but gave a more cautious outlook. But of course, lost Brett Taylor, who is the absolute star, beating Musk. Or he was the chairman of Twitter. But what I didn't like was that Salesforce actually mentioned some verticals that are weaker. And the verticals that happen to be stronger at Snowflake. So I wonder whether media and retail, which were ones that were called out by Salesforce, not be good. Have they gone to Snowflake?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I think it's absolutely a possibility.
Yeah. I'm looking at Salesforce's decline today, about 10%. Part of that, of course, is Brett Taylor leaving. Some of it could also be the current remaining performance obligation was a little lighter than expected. But at the same time,
we've not been pounding the table.
No, we've had it at 2 for quite some time now. But at the same time, Jim, there's a big pivot towards profitability. It does seem like they are doing that. Operating margins were a record.
2022 in the buyback, they've done $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Of the 10. I think that Mark was adamant that this is going to start going like that. I'm not going against Mark. He mentioned 2000 that he lived through 2008. He did fine. He's spending. He is thinking the other verticals are going to come back. They did a fantastic deal with T-Mobile.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to chime in here as they discuss Salesforce. So we'll go back to them in a minute. But Salesforce is down 10. Last year, that stock was around 225 last year. So consider that a stock down 10% is still remain a strong company. It's just because the change of CEO. That's why I think the stock is down. So consider getting Salesforce if you're interested in it. This might be the time because December is going to be a stronger month. And I think if you guys listened to Fez yesterday, they're not raising interest rate that high anymore. So things are going to stabilize. So let me go back to the meeting, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the meeting.
We did a fantastic deal with Bank of America and a great deal with Dell. So let's not write them off. I'm more tempted at a certain point to buy than sell.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'm just thinking about and by the way, this is a type of stock that would rally as the Fed continues to slower rate hikes in the future. But Jim, we also have the dollar continues to weaken. That would be good for Salesforce in the future. Meanwhile, crude has made a pretty significant run this past week. Earlier, we started the week. I think it touched as low as maybe 70, low 70s. Now we're all the way up to 83. Yeah, we have been buying the oils.
It's coming a little hot to the OPEC meeting where I think nothing's going to come of it. But remember, we're getting the news in China of some of them starting to recognize that Omicron is more flu-like. And that means, therefore, if you get it, and it's, if you're in a room, you get it. I don't know if you got it. But that's also going to drive up crude.
And optimism around China reopening is why you could have Estee Lauder lead the S&P 500 yesterday.
Estee Lauder is a stock that we said, based on the remarkable Fabrizio Freda, that does more work in China. And we're also going to get Ulta tonight, and you're going to hear more great things about Estee Lauder. Yeah. That's one of their best customers. Now, we got to talk about something. A lot of times let's first talk about the decision to sell some Costco.
Yes.
We had
tough
a huge
one.
game.
Yeah.
We did feel that it was important not to let this is
Some profit
stop
taking after
already.
yesterday.
I mean,
It was
yeah,
it up
cut it
9%. Yeah.
All right, so Costco deserves to be down because there is a cadence change. They've had some trade down. They've been hurt by some people who are not buying. And so we decided to take a little profit of a long-standing name. We have still plenty of it, but we felt like we had to take some action.
Yeah, I think it was prudent. So they were.
Hey guys, let me just add in here that I didn't agree with the decision to sell some Costco. I mean, but you have to realize they are a huge company. But if you're in Costco, I wouldn't advise you to sell Costco. Have you gone to Costco lately? They have some of the best deal. Costco is not going anywhere. Costco continue to open more stores. So guys, if you're in Costco, please don't sell Costco. What you should be doing is waiting for a bigger pullback. I don't think the pullback is big enough here to get some more Costco. So if I see Costco goes around the 400 mark, I will definitely be buying some Costco and look to add to what you have in Costco, because I think Costco is going to maybe give you a bigger dividend as time go on. But consider adding to Costco, not selling Costco. I do not agree with the decision of the club here to sell some Costco. So guys, let's go back to the meeting and hear more what it has to say about the decision to sell Costco.
Reported their November monthly sales yesterday, and they did increase up 5.3% on a core basis, but that's a big miss from the 8.5 consensus we were looking for. It is a deceleration from the month before. So
Tough to sell this one.
The comps are getting tougher here. They did see some outsized gains as traffic increased, as more people went for gas when gasoline prices were high. People were obviously going to the stores. But if comps slow, that could create some trouble for the stock.
And
so
I didn't want the next 3 months. I didn't want us to give up all this gain, have it back here.
Yeah.
You know, this is a fabulous game for us. We obviously got a little bit higher price. Let's just watch it now. I mean, look, Kroger reported this amazing quarter. Nobody liked it anyway.
Right.
There is a sense that.
All right, guys, let's just talk a little bit about that. They did mention China a while ago, and I didn't want to get too far. They did talk about Estée Lauder, and I'm still saying that consider getting some Starbucks. Starbucks give a nice dividend, and the stock is inexpensive. I think it's under $100 for Starbucks, guys. So if you're not in Starbucks, as China get to open, I expect to see Starbucks doing better. I don't want you to miss an opportunity and you didn't get to buy Starbucks, and then you go higher and you're like, oh shit, I should have got some Starbucks. So guys, consider joining Starbucks. For the guys in my Patreon, I'm gonna try to give you a list of all the stocks that the club invests in. So check your email for that. I will be working on that later on today. So let's go back to the meeting, guys, and take in some more.
Thank you, Matt Boss. This middle-income consumers really hurting. That's Costco.
So if we do see an acceleration in December, that would get us more bullish. But until we see what happens next month, we just want to be a little bit more cautious.
Right, and remember, they do these very benign conference calls until you get to the end of the month. They didn't mean this, obviously, but the numbers were not as good as I expected.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Well, food was still great. Sundry's great.
Food was great.
The grocery business doing so well, but it was the merchandise, consumer electronics, jewelry,
and
hardware.
remember, I mean, people understand when you go to Costco, there might be beautiful Zegna jackets. I mean, you don't know, it's a treasure hunt, but the treasure hunt's not working right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Should we do Ford next?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about food?
Exclusive for people in the club. I spoke to Jim Farley, who is the CEO of Ford. This is news. I'm just going to read what he said. We reached out to him after the Jefferies downgrade of Generac. Remember, they said that, look, you don't need an engine, a backup engine, if you have a Ford 150. So here's some things that Jim Farley told me. Ford Lightning has been an eye-opener for Ford. They are now number 2 in EV sales in the USA, thanks in large part to the F-150 Lightning. They are now tracking the use of the Lightning powering homes, job sites, RV campsites, and tailgates with the ProPower on board. And they mentioned that in Hurricane Ian, they saw a 200% increase in people powering their homes with Lightnings. They will put ProPower on board on most of their EVs going forward because customers love it. And this is, to me, a clarion call, which just says, if you may get worried about Tesla, but maybe you got a winner here in Ford. And I do believe you have a winner in Ford. Now, Farley here had warranty problems and he had steel problems. Okay, there are still warranty problems. They've not gotten rid of them, but the steel costs, commodity costs have come down.
And some nameplate issues as
They
well.
had a sabotage
Yeah.
at a major plant that hurt between 50 and 60,000
Yeah.
trucks. Not being able to have Bronco.
They were
being,
just left with vehicles
right.
on wheels.
I mean, you know, my daughter's a Bronco, and it's got Bronco, and it's got where it's from. Those were destroyed, and now they.
All right, guys, let me just jump in here that I'm not very bullish on Ford. We have seen the stock for the past year. They did a lot of great things like increase the dividend, guys. I'm going to get back to the meeting in a little bit, and then we'll finish over here. But the stock hasn't done anything. For the last year, I think the stock had the highest the stock was like $17. I mean, if you're getting in there for the dividend, maybe I would see, but I will choose a company like, I would choose an oil company, you know, like Coterra, but I haven't seen Ford did a lot. So until the stock shows me that it could rise to a certain extent, if you're just going for the dividend, I say you could do that and hold on, but I am not very bullish on Ford, and I know that Jim Cramer and Farley are very good friends, so I guess you're going to pump him up and not talk too bad about him. But as I said, guys, I have not seen the stock do anything. I am not bullish, and I am not yet sold on Ford. So let's go back to Jim Cramer, and let me finish up here as they talk about Ford, and we will close up when we come back. Okay, guys.
They fixed them, and that's why the fourth quarter could be very big. The stock's down too much. I would still be a buyer. New members of the club be a buyer because this is an inexpensive stock if you believe that the world is not going to have a dramatic slowdown. And I don't believe we're going to have a dramatic slowdown. I just don't.
Very nice dividend yield, too. They have been increasing the dividend multiple times. Well, they reinstated it, and then they increased it as well. And buybacks to offset dilution. So there's the free cash flow is great.
Yeah, look, I just think Jim's doing a good job. Jim's become a little controversial. There's some people who say, well, listen, he hasn't been able to get the stock back. I'm not buying it. Now, the one last one that is totally quizzical with me.
Yeah, down on good news.
Excuse me?
Down on good
All right, guys. So, as I said, guys, we're going to close off here, guys. Thank you for joining the club. Thank you for joining me on Patreon, Sent again. And if you're just watching us, please subscribe to our channel. We try to give you videos on a daily basis. Sometimes we miss some days, but the people on Patreon, they get the videos every day. So we try to make the sacrifice to make sure they are all taken care of. Also, the club bought, as I said before, PXD, which is Pioneer Natural Resources yesterday. So guys, if you're in my Patreon, please check your email. Keep checking your Patreon for, I have this thing called Trade Alerts, where every time there is a trade alert, I will try to let you know what I'm buying, what I'm doing. So I myself buy some PXD. I got it at a lower price because we don't buy things when it's up. We buy things when it's a pullback. So if you're in a stock and you feel good about the stock and you see the stock drop, and you could pick up a couple more shares, 5-10 shares, consider doing that and strengthening your portfolio. Right now, I am strengthening my portfolio, not looking to pick up too much different stock. I have like 15 different stock, and you know what, maybe I'll show you my portfolio sometime this weekend. So stay tuned to the channel. I will show you what I have in my portfolio, what I'm buying. And I said Jim and Jeff Monks give wonderful information. I don't buy everything, but I think I have like 10 stocks that I would like to share with you over the weekend. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. I definitely will be doing another video tomorrow, Friday, so take a look out for that, and see you on our next video.